Hi, for those of you that are new, welcome to my channel. My name is Shazleen, and this channel was kind of created to be that big sister, that mentor, auntie, trusted friend that you can lean into and get advice from. Because as I was growing up, I always wished that I had someone like that. Very hard to come across. So I'm hoping that through this channel, I'm able to be that for whoever is willing to receive me. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So today we are going to be talking about when people do you wrong, because as you guys know, I'm literally only going to talk about the things that I'm going through, and that's where I'm at right now. I've been done wrong, and I think one of the most horrible ways, like the worst way that this person could have hurt me, they chose to hurt me. And at first I wasn't really thinking about it. I was kind of keeping myself busy, but as the busyness is slowing down, it's coming to the front of my mind, and I'm finding myself like feeling so many different emotions: resentment or embarrassment. It's like, how did I let someone like this get close to me? Anger, sadness, hurt, frustration. I feel those emotions coming up, and so I want to make sure that we keep them cool and we keep those emotions calm, and we just remind ourselves of the truth of what's really going on when someone does you wrong. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. When someone does you wrong, the number one thing that you want to do, I think instinctively, everybody, especially Scorpios, I'm a Scorpio, is you want to get even, right? You want to get back. You want them to feel what they did to you. You want to know that they're going through whatever type of pain they've caused you, that they understand the depths and the levels of pain that they caused. But what I want to tell you, a very, very delicate secret, okay? Here we go. When somebody does you wrong, baby girl, baby boy, they are already in so much pain, already hurting on an excruciating level, deeper than you can even imagine. Think about it. People can only produce what they are, right? If you go and you picked a fruit, you got an apple from a tree, what are you going to get from that apple? Apple juice, right? If you get an orange from a tree, what are you going to get from that orange? Orange juice, right? So if you met a person and they're spewing out a lot of pain, guess what's inside of that person? Pain. Have you ever met somebody, they're one of the most kindest, sweet, like heartfelt, warm people that you've ever met? If you get close to them, you'll realize that's all they have in them, is a bunch of love. You go around their family, you'll see that's how they are. That's what they have. That's what fills them up. People can only put out what it is that they have inside of them. So if this person is giving pain, then that person is walking in pain. This person is abusive or lying. Trust that that person is going through so much detriment, horrible life, where it's like, don't even waste your time getting even, because once you do that, you've lost. You've allowed yourself to get sucked up into their world. This is their world that they've created with all of this pain, hurt, this heartache, and all of this suffering, this sadness. If you get close to them and a little bit of it get off on you, right? You was close to the fire, so you got a little burn. Just keep going. When you decide to fight fire with fire, to stay and say, you know what? They got all that pain going on in their world, and they think they about to bring it in my world. I'm about to throw it back to them. Once you made that decision to throw it back to them, you have entered their world, a world of pain, and you're slowly changing your world to make it look like theirs. Before you know it, they're going to be walking around with their dark cloud, and you're going to be walking around with your dark cloud too, because you matched their energy. The best thing you can do, and I know it's so hard, especially when you know that you were kind, you know that you really had good intention, you really tried to pour the best into someone, to just really be there, to really be loving, be caring, to really be a friend, and they like literally try to take you down. Understand that that person is looking for a reaction. They want to provoke you so bad because they want to bring you to their level. They want to bring you in their world. It's misery loves company. It's lonely. When all these other people don't want to come into that world with you, then guess what? You don't have a choice but to change. So it would be nice if nobody went into that world with them. Then those people would be forced to change, right? But Right now, I just want us to focus on ourselves. If you're watching this, I just want you to focus on you. Focus on you. And the number one thing that you can do for yourself when someone does something to you that you know you didn't deserve, is just downright dirty and wrong. It was low down. They were like a demon. A demon. Like, I'm telling y'all, what this person did to me, they crapped. Like, it's just horrendous. I'm still trying to like wrap my mind around the fact that they did this and this happened and this situation is child, it's almost over. It'll be done soon, but in the meantime, between time, I want to make sure that I'm keeping a calm mind, that I'm staying grounded, that I'm seeing things for what it really is. When someone hurts you, and I know this is so hard, but if you can, with good intentions, pray for them. If you can't with good intentions, just don't worry about it. But don't get even. Understand that they are an extremely sad human being that's going through so much pain and suffering within themselves, and they want somebody to come along, so they don't have a choice. They naturally spew it out to other people, even the people closest to them, even the people that are good to them. Pain can't help but to produce more pain. Just like good can't help but to produce more good. If you are a genuine good person at the core of yourself, people are going to know that, because everybody you come in contact with is going to have a similar response about how you treated them and the ways you were with them. Even in relationships, if you are genuinely a good person, when you get out of different relationships, your exes are going to have some good things to say about you. You know, it didn't have to work out for them to know that you were a good person. And it's the same way for the opposite. If you are a evil soul walking around as a demon, people that come in contact with you, they will feel that. And if I'm being honest, sometimes you can feel what type of energy somebody is carrying before they even open their mouth. Like, this isn't somebody that I want to be around. This isn't somebody that seems like they have best intentions. And so with that being said, I just want to make sure that when someone is like intentionally trying to hurt you or knock you down, know 3 things. 1, means you're doing something right because they are intimidated. It's the only way you would want to knock somebody down. Otherwise, you would want to lift them up. But it means that you're doing something right. And this has nothing to do with gender. It could be a guy trying to knock you down or a girl trying to knock you down. Listen, haters are haters. 2, they are hurting worse than you can even possibly imagine. When they go home at night and it's just them, you don't want to see what they're really feeling. You don't want to see the thoughts that's really going through their mind. You don't want to see the agony that they're in. Those people are hurting. So understand that you already got even. You already got back. It's already been done to them. The hurt that they're trying, I think Oprah said this and it was said in The Color Purple, what you tried to do to me has already been done to you. They've already gotten it, whether it's on a level that you can like actually see, like somebody physically causing somebody pain, or it's on a level that you can't see. It's in their subconscious. They're walking around feeling guilty, feeling sad, walking around feeling low with a lack of confidence. They're angry and mad and bitter with resentment. You already got back. That's the only way they can spew that stuff out. What they tried to spill onto you, they have that in them times 100. Because 9 times out of 10, you just saw a glimpse of it. Unless you stick around, then you're going to end up seeing more and more and more. But I didn't stick around. Then the third thing, understand that there is always lessons to be learned. So you got close to someone and they ended up doing you wrong, doing you dirty. Understand that there is a lesson for you to learn in this. Maybe it's better discernment. Maybe it's creating better boundaries. Maybe it's realizing you're codependent. Maybe it's just understanding that you need to trust yourself. Because maybe you did know what type of person they were. Maybe you did see the red flags, but you ignored them. Or maybe you knew what type of person they were, but you were lonely, so you allowed them in anyway. So now you've learned, you know what, when I'm vulnerable, that's not the time to be creating new friendships, new relationships. Vulnerability can lead to desperation, right? Vulnerability can lead to a mindset that has lack surrounding it instead of abundance. So maybe that's something you learn. For me specifically, that was a huge lesson that I learned through all of this. I was vulnerable when I decided to cultivate this new friendship, relationship, whatever you want to call it, with this person that had came into my life, I had just lost my parent. And so I was extremely vulnerable in grad school, and I had like a month left, and it was just so much going on that I knew that this person probably was not a good person to be around, that like I should have some guards and protect myself. And in the beginning I did. But that's the thing. As you stay around someone that you know you're not supposed to be around, eventually y'all gonna mesh. Those walls that you have up are gonna come down. At least for me, because eventually I start trying to see you the way God sees you. Start trying to like just really get to the core of who you are. But no. When someone shows you, Maya Angelou said this, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Leave them the first time, and don't create space for that person to be around you, to be close to you, to have access to you, because eventually little bits of them will get in, and it will tarnish the peace, the love that you are, or that you are trying to create. So you can't have oil and water be mixing together. You can't. So if you are water and you're doing what you need to do for God, oil cannot mix with you. No matter how much you try, you need to stay away from that. You need to have a layer, a boundary in place, so that if it tries to mix with you, it cannot. And so that was the biggest lesson that I learned through all of this. Like, from now on, I am not creating anything new as far as friendships or relationships or anything like that go when I'm vulnerable. I'm not, because when I'm vulnerable, I'm not thinking how I normally would think. And so vultures that will normally not have access to me end up having access, because I'm just not in the right mindset. And so, yeah, that's kind of where I am today. When someone does you wrong and you know that like they had no business doing that, they were just trying to hurt you, you were a good person to them, you were a kind person to them, don't worry about getting back. Don't worry about getting even, because as soon as you do that, you are pushing your blessings further away, because now God got to teach you why you shouldn't be like them. Don't do it. They did it. Keep your head up, stay focused, and keep your eyes on the prize. Keep going for what you are going for. They want you to stop. They want you to get distracted, turn to them, and start fighting them. You don't have time for that. Stay focused, stay driven on what your vision is, and don't give them people the time of day. Allow that stuff to fall off of you. Allow God to come in and clean up all the mess. Let them sit in their misery, and you go to sleep every day just knowing they got to be in so much freaking pain to try to hurt me the way that they did. So with that being said, I will see you guys in my next video. I hope that this was able to touch someone, help someone in any way possible. I love you guys. Ashe.